ガオーガオー食べちゃおう Hi everyone! Today is a special day. We have a special stream today. Hold on, let me move this a little further back. Hold on. There we go. Okay, today we have a very special stream. So, in case you don't know, there was an event on Steam. It was the OTOME, I think it was OTOME Game Appreciation, OTOME Week, something like that. And it was like a big sale, I believe, on a bunch of OTOME games on Steam. And it's also a way for a lot of indie devs to get their titles out there, which I support. Indie devs, we must support each other. So today I am playing, let's see, I want to say love and Faeology. Death! No, not love. Not love. Death and Faeology is what I am playing today. It is, from my understanding, it is a deductive reasoning type of OTOME game. I believe this is just the demo, so they only have male love interests. But I think for the full version, there will be female love interests, which is great. I'm all about that, Yuri. It is an original English language visual novel. It takes place in the 1920s, I believe, maybe the 30s. So I decided to make today's stream detective themed. As you can see, we put up all the get out, keep out tape all over the shop. So today I am kind of like a Sherlock Holmes. I don't really know much about this game other than it has supernatural elements and it has murdery elements. Both sound fun to me. I'm gonna get a quick drink of water and we'll talk a little bit more about it. So let me see, I believe, hold on, I was given a packet to look at, so let me take a look-see. Oh, and I have a walkthrough that I can look forward to, so that's good, because I don't want to do terribly. Okay, so we have 4 characters, and this is the updated demo with a variety of changes in it. I think there's dialogue changes and some personality changes to the characters, but I did not play the original demo, so I cannot really give my thoughts on that. Sort of like how, you know, we all played Touch Starved. We played the Touch Starved demo, which was good, and it could have used a little improvement here and there, but it was good. And then it got a big update, which I haven't played. Hello, Jitsu! Hi! I was just telling everyone that today we are playing an original English language visual novel, an OTOME game called Death and Faeology. And I have a walkthrough, and I don't know if I'm gonna reach any ending today, but I said I would give it a shot. So we're gonna solve some crimes. We're gonna death some fairies. I don't know. We're gonna bury some deathology. I don't know. We're gonna have fun. How are you, Jitsu? How are you? I have made everything detective themed. I have made everything detective themed. I have played detective games before, like Innocent Grey's Cartograph and Cartograph Shoujo. Those type of things that have click and point elements where you can examine parts of the crime. I have played those before, but I am not too good at those without a walkthrough because Innocent Grey games are infamously very hard to do well at. Hello, Xenomorphica! Bear perchance? Cute! I love how you say it like it's a mystery. In fact, to stay on theme with today, let me get out like a magnifying glass. I think I have one. Pretty sure I have one. Let me get out the magnifying glass. Whoops, that was not what I meant to do. Let me get the magnifying glass. Aha! Elementary chat. So let's get the arm out so I'm actually holding it now. So yeah, we're gonna play this OTOME game. I've never played it before, but I'm interested and we'll see how it goes. How's that? Like this? That's okay. That's good. We're gonna keep it like this. We're gonna solve some murders? Question mark? I assume there are murders in this because it is the word death in the title? So I can only assume there is death and hopefully murders and something fun. Elementary, my dear Jackson. Oh no, you made it so cursed. Yes, today I made the whole shop look like an active crime scene. You're just gonna have to like step all over the yellow tape and don't mind the outline, the chalk outline back there of a body. Don't mind that. So that's what we're gonna be playing today. I have a guide, and I'm interested in seeing how it goes. We have 2 love interests just for the demo. We have Theo and Oscar, not Rosa Versailles Oscar, different Oscar. Neither of them are really my type. You know, I'm more into the Shota, or even better, a loli, or at least a femboy. But these character designs are very, I want to say, Western art style, very realistic, which is not a bad thing. Everybody has different tastes. But, you know, I prefer more the anime art style, which is funny because my game is not at all anime. It is very stylized and very cartoony and not at all anime. But if I ever were to make a second game, I would want it to be like 100% anime, kawaii, super cute, moe, aesthetic. If that were ever to happen. Also, I want to tell you guys, I might as well get my announcements out of the way. I wanted to tell you guys, it is May 31st, and I think until June 4th, I have 50% off all commissions, and if you donate, no matter what amount you donate, I will write a small mini fanfiction for you. So if you donate, and I respond, please tell me what you would like so I can write it for you. Otherwise, I don't know what you want. And I don't want to write something that you don't want. So, yeah, please check your messages. But yeah, we have that going on. We have 50% off. That's going to go for until, not a week, but until June 4th. And then the fanfiction for every donation is going to be for the entire month. Yes. For Pride! For Pride Month! Happy Pride, everybody! I sure love being gay in today's climate. Anyway, who said that? Not me. But anyway, why don't we get started on the game and let's Faeology some death, or death some Faeology, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I have not played this before. I only opened up the main menu, and I like the vibe of it. I like the music of it. So let's get started. Let me scooch myself into a corner. No, I don't wanna, no. Too many assets. Hold on. Let me get there, and then we get the hand, and then we get the magnifying glass. Okay, maybe I'm a little too big. Their way. That's better. Okay. Alright. Let me make myself a little lower, actually. There we go. Also, guys, did you hear that School Days is getting a full renewal? Like a what is it? High definition remake? I think it's just gonna be like a visual update. I don't think they're gonna change anything about it other than like maybe the resolution, but that's really exciting. And the Gore Screaming Show, the Japanese Gore Screaming Show crowdfund was a total success. Like they got 130% or something like that. And that is very exciting. It's gonna have a new opening, it's gonna have new CG. It's getting 2BL Roots, chat! 2BL Roots in Gore Screaming Show in the remake. I am so excited. Fumiori, I believe. I think he is getting, is that his name? Fumiori? Nami? Fumiori. He's getting a root, and then Shinta, the best friend, is getting a root. So you get a bully root, and you get a best friend root. BL roots. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be like BLH scenes. I don't care. I am super, super stoked. I cannot wait to play it. Just USA, I really hope you bring it over. Otherwise, I'm going to cry. You should also bring over Mugen Kairo 2 while I'm at it. Okay. Let's get the game started. And I like the art. Made with Unity. Mushroom Mallow is the company. What? Hold on. I gotta make it smaller. It keeps defaulting to full screen. That's not what I want. Okay, we want to go to Window. And let me pull it up. Also, if this yellow tape is like in the way, let me know so I can change it. That's not what I want. Is it not showing up? Hold on. Let me fix it. Hold on a minute. Giving me a little bit of trouble. Okay, there we go. So we got the Faeology Prologue. Wishlist now on Steam. I don't remember how much it costs. Let me see. Let me visit the store page. It is release date to be announced, so there's no cost attached to it right now. That's fine. I'm sure it's like well priced. Alright. So we got like a spooky little key art, which is neat. It is widescreen. Widescreen aspect ratio, which is nice. Although I am nostalgic for like the box, what do you call it? The boxy old school idol game, which are not widescreen. I'm kind of nostalgic for that. Also, this is not technically an eroge. There are no H scenes, which makes me sad. That would make me happy if there were H scenes, but there are not. There are not. Let me turn down the volume a little bit. If it's too loud, let me know. Alright. We got new game, load game, setting, credit, exit. And since I've become a game developer myself, I really appreciate all the work that goes into this. This is cool. You got like a little link that gives you a call to action to go to the Steam page. That's cool. That's cool. Alright, let's go to new game. I have the walkthrough pulled up on my monitor. Alright. What is your name? Let's enter my name. I do not. Hold on, how do I? There we go. Kumakko. That's cool. I like that you can enter the name. They're not gonna ask for a last name? Okay. Okay. So, we're in some kind of office. Grading first-year assignments can be such an exercise in patience. Hello, Hikari! You're just in time. We just started this game. It is an original English language visual novel. It is an Otome game. It is all ages, I believe. No age scenes, which makes me sad. But yeah, we just started, so you did not miss a thing. I ought to remind myself that Faeology is a relatively recent science, only a couple of decades old. I like the sound effects. The university, the only Faeology university in the whole country, was just finished being built in 1905. So, we're like 1920, right? Fumi-san! 聞いてくれてありがとう。そうよ。今日の僕は探偵だよ。今日は新しい乙女ゲー、死と妖精の勉強。これは、新しいの乙女ゲーだよ。これは、なんというか、事件とサスペンスミステリーの ストーリーと思うんだけど、まあ初めてやるんだからあんまり知らないんだけど、Hello Swantanemo, hello, welcome. We just started playing, you didn't miss anything. I really like the UI. It is very sleek. That is cool. I like it. I really like it when UI is the user interface. I really like it when it has a lot of personality. I cannot read the writing here. I think it says Faeology in Purgatorio? I'm not sure. Something Latin. Let's continue. It is still barely acknowledged in the academic field. So this is only in English. There's no Japanese translation, which is really a bummer. I think every game should be in English and in Japanese. More importantly, I've got to keep in mind that children inherit their parents' prejudices and misconceptions. それよりも、私は、子供が両親の悩むと、醜いのことを、あげると思ったんだけど、人間の世界は、妖精の世界はまだあまりわからないんだ。The human world has formed its own notion of fairies. 人間の世界は、妖精の世界のことを自分の考えることあるなんだけど、Alas, I find myself unable to suppress a big sigh every time I read references to poisoned apples ushering princesses into eternal sleep. それでも私は、いつでも、なんていうか、フェアリーテールというか、なんていうか、離れ橋のことを読んでいるときにいつも、疲れてになる。So I guess they're sick of fairy tales. Yes, the protagonist, I'm assuming it's a female protagonist, but maybe it's not? A reference to the Coningsly fairies is one I can understand, since it was quite the sensation not too long ago. Coningsly fairies のことを、ちょっと待って。Coningsly fairies はね、ちょっと前にあったんだから、みんなまだ覚えている。I think I know what this is talking about, if I remember right. I think this was like in the 20s, in which somebody like cut out pictures of fairies from like a storybook and they put them on pins, and then they like hid the pins in the grass and they took photos of it as like quote unquote photographic proof of fairies. That actually happened, if this is what I'm thinking of. Although it will be clear in the eyes of renowned Faeologists that the photographs are mere imitations. それでも、妖精の先生たちには、この写真はもちろん偽物だったっていうの。A pity that Sir Doyle was taken in by it. 残念ながらドイル先生はちょっと待って。騙されちゃった。I think. Yeah. So this is referencing Arthur Conan Doyle, who is the author of Sherlock Holmes. Arthur Conan Doyle 先生はね、シャーロック・ホームズの、小説作家っていう人だった。I ought to take a break. もう休もうかな。The grading session today has taken me quite a tangent. The grading session today has taken me on quite a tangent is what I would write. But anyway, まあいろいろの生徒たちの紙、そして、なんていうか、what is the word for essay? I don't remember. まあね、宿題、先生の、いや、生徒たちの宿題はね、私にとってちょっと、義務になっちゃったかな。大好きな Ozu, my beloved Oz. Is this Oz? Is this little fairy Oz? This little fairy guy Oz? I don't like bugs. まあ僕ね、虫大嫌い。 なんだよ。I suppose having a fairy companion does give one an advantage in identifying genuine fairies. それとも自分の妖精ちゃんは、他の妖精ちゃん、本物の妖精ちゃんのしているはやっぱりいいことだね。I'd say a break is in order, wouldn't you, Oz? まあ、私たち休みましょうかな、Oz ちゃん。Oz responds through trills that I've learned to interpret over the decades I've known them. So Oz is this little fairy guy. この妖精ちゃんは、この虫かな、虫だよね、虫かな。Oz ちゃんは、このペットかな、主人公のペットかな。まだコッティングリーフェアリーズかな。The Cottingly Fairies again? 姫様の永遠の眠りは、ちょっと待って。読書 What is the word for poison? I forgot. 読書 I have to look it up. Hold on a minute. The things I do. Give me a minute. I need to look up the word poison to make sure I'm getting it right. Aha! 毒入り Aha! 読書 I was right. Okay. 姫様の永遠の眠りと読書のリンゴ Okay. And the princess's eternal slumber due to the poison apples. We don't care much for human princesses. 私たちは人間の姫様なんかどうでもいい。でも読書のリンゴはやっぱり簡単だよ。But making poisoned apples is rather an easy feat. Shall I turn one of them into a toad in front of the whole class to show that Fey folk is capable? Shouldn't it be Fey folk are capable? I don't know. I'm not like, I shouldn't like nitpick the grammar, but to show that Fey folk are capable of more than that. At the same time showing them that not all fairies are a friendly bunch. So I guess it's sentient. It's sentient. It's not like a pet. It's like sentient. I can't help but chuckle at the thought of that. I believe some might quit the same day if you do that. Besides, if other Faeologists got a hold of your existence, who knows what they'll do to you? Okay, so this one is special. This guy is special. Chances are high those people will try to pin you to a cork board and vivisect you. Hot! I would never let that happen. I've always appreciated you pursuing Faeology to ensure that. This is the least I could do. We've known each other. Can you? I have to know. Chat. I have to know. Can you date the fairy? Can you? Well, to be blunt, can you fuck the fairy? That is my question here. Is this like a dramatical murder situation in which you can screw the dog? Is this that kind of situation? For the monster fuckers? Come on! Is this that kind of game? Can you end up with the fairy? Is that a secret route? I would like that. I would rather end up with the fairy. Alright. We've known each other since I was 7. You saved me countless times since then. Okay, so they're like, Osanana Jimi. このオズちゃん、そして主人公ちゃんは、この二人は幼なじみとペットみたいな感じだよね。They're like best friends. They're like childhood friends, but they're also like master and pet? I guess. Hello, Halo. We just started. We're like a scientist of fairies. We're not, maybe scientist not the word. Like a academic? Yeah, we're like an academic who studies fairies, and this fairy is like our pet, but also like our childhood friend. So it's a little confusing. I'm sorry, I'm like, that's okay, Halo, I'm glad you made it. Well, you could have let me bleed to death when you found me. Yeah, how big is this thing? How big is this thing? I need to know, is it like the size of a hand? How big is this thing? Also, it looks like this is the only sentient one that people know of, that the protagonist knows of. But I gotta say, it looks like it has a human face. If you get rid of like these eyes, just look at this one, it looks like a human face. I would never! I can hear a delightful melody of chirps laced with a touch of whimsy, which makes me feel just a tad fizzy. Can you fuck the fairy or not? I need to know! Can you date the fairy or not? That is the only love interest I'm interested in at the moment. It seems that even the laugh of a fairy possesses some magical quality. While you're on break, isn't there something else on your agenda this afternoon? Right, Mr. Henkel's letter. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I retrieved the letter from my patron from a desk drawer. I like the little cuttings with like the ladder and the fairy. That's cool. I lean back on my chair and read the missive aloud to myself. Dear Kumakko, how long are you going to keep me in suspense? Will you or will you not accompany me to this year's Leo's Gala? You could do a lot worse than forgetting your boring books for a moment in favor of whiling away an evening with champagne and canapes and invigorating company. And while I say invigorating, I'm not speaking of those old sods with deep pockets ready to be exploited by way of funding grants for your research. I'm speaking, of course, of yours truly. Do write me sometime before Saturday. That's tomorrow's date, isn't it? Oh, I know. My delay in responding is entirely by design, I assure you. So, how do we get to the backlog? Their backlog? No backlog, okay. Looks like there's not a backlog. Okay. I'd hate to be getting the looks from the crowd like I'm a wet blanket. Faeology isn't worth my dough, they'd say. Oz's replying chirp is decidedly indignant. I nod to Oz in agreement before returning to Mr. Henkel's letter. In other news, I've heard that little Ruthie Blythe caused a minor ruckus in the city's hottest speakeasy. So this is the 20s, okay. If your old friend Detective Krause hasn't been in the area at the time as well, who knows what could have happened. I found myself rather perturbed at this revelation. I would have telephoned Ruthie and asked what the story was, like when we were children. Okay, another childhood friend. However, for better or worse, we aren't on friendly terms anymore. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. I resume reading my patron's letter. Speaking of the detective, have the two of you been keeping in contact? He gave me the cold shoulder when I crossed paths with him at last week's benefit. I couldn't help assuming that his persistently frosty treatment of me might have had something to do with you. It's unfortunate that the extensive bonds you have with him should end in a rather bitter taste. As you have told me more than once, when it was good, there was nothing else quite like it. So we got a friends to enemies kind of situation. And yet you speak very little of him now, and I find myself wondering if he still holds a place in that guarded heart of yours. The letter is signed yours everlasting, Oscar Henkel. Well, I've kept Mr. Henkel waiting long enough. I press a pen to the fresh sheet of paper to commence crafting a response. Wait a second. If this gala is like in a couple days and you're writing a response now, who knows when they'll actually read the response? Just then, a familiar rhythmic tapping pierces the silence. I glance at the direction of Oz, but they're nowhere to be seen. Is this kind of like nobody else could see the fairy except for the protagonist type deal? Yeah. Oz must have camouflaged himself in a heartbeat. Wouldn't it be it? Wouldn't it be itself? Anyway, I put Mr. Henkel's letter in the drawer before calling out. Come in, Minnie. Oh, well. She's attractive, I suppose. Not as attractive as the fairy. I won't make that joke. I'm not a furry. I won't make that joke. Yeah, she's fine. Not a loli, but she'll do. My assistant enters the office. She's careful to snap the door shut. Speaking of which, what gender are we? I'm just gonna assume we're female. She's careful to snap the door shut behind her. Professor? Yes, Minnie? Were you talking to yourself again? That's right, you know me. So this is just the demo. I think there's going to be partial voice acting. Maybe? I might be wrong. In the final version. I see. Sometimes I wonder what she must have thought while hearing the mumbling sounds of me speaking with Oz. But she knows when to not poke her nose into things. One of the things I like about her, also what makes her the bee's knees when it comes to being an assistant. I like the slang. I like the writing. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's here. Who? The police detective from the newspapers. Police detective? Even as I echo these words, there's a sinking feeling in my stomach. You know, the man who made you crumple the papers and toss them in the trash can. In the end, we had to stop our subscription for the dailies. So they're saying something in the newspaper, and the protagonist doesn't like it. Detective Theodore Kraus? Yes, that's the one. Knowing Theo is here makes my world go momentarily off kill. So we got some tension, we got some hatred going on here. Let me get a quick drink of water. Hello, Star Scene! We just started not too long ago. Welcome! It's as if by the magic of the fairy tales I malign, the ink of my patron's letter has manifested him into the reception area. Can't you tell him I'm out delivering a lecture on the far side of campus or something? That depends. Is a lie like that going to deter this man? I also like short-haired girls, but she could be younger. An astute question. She truly is wise beyond her years. Probably not. He'd happily traverse the entire campus just to torment me, I'm guessing. So it is like an enemies to lovers type thing. Okay. So we got an enemy, and we got a patron. And we got an assistant. With a brisk nod, Minnie returns to the reception area. I barely have time for a steadying breath before Theo barges in. He drops a box on my desk right off the bat. So, you can date him. You can date this Theo, or you can date Oscar in the demo. The neck is a bit odd. I think it's just the style. I think it's just the art style. What is this? Why is he in my office? Well, look who the cat dragged in. Not even a how do you do? Ooh, should I do voices chat? Maybe I should do voices chat. Do you want me to do voices chat, Uwu? I might. It might be fun. What? Did nicety suddenly mean something to you? I seem to recall you packing your bags and moving out without so much as a goodbye. Whoa! Juicy. So, were they dating? I'm not really a huge fan of the hyper realistic style, but like, I appreciate it. Is there a quick save? Looks like no. There's a save, but there's no quick save. Yeah, I would implement a backlog and a quick save. There was no one to say goodbye to! Oh! I'm guessing maybe they broke up? Maybe this guy was always busy with the work, and so protagonist-chan left him? Whoa. Didn't you find out I left only a few days later? Oh, spicy. At least it made it easier for you to leave, didn't it? Whoa! Yep, I knew it. They lived together. There is a tinge of hurt in his voice that I'm only able to pick up because we lived together for several months. So they had a falling out. As my mouth struggles to catch the words hanging in the air, I feel the piercing, icy silence creeping in. I opt to break the silence before I freeze. What's in the box? He let out a deep sigh that rather sounds like relief. Your things that somehow you didn't take with you when you left. Even that oddly crafted handkerchief you seem to love so much. That handkerchief was a gift for you! I see the corner of his mouth twitch. He's lying. What should I do with this information? Oh, X for doubt! Let me save. X for doubt. The wrong game, but... yeah. I think I already saved that. Okay. Reach out for the box to check or respond in disbelief. What should we do, chat? What should we do, chat? Let me look at the guide. Hold on, the guide. Let me see what the guide says. Whether Theo likes you. Okay. So there's a good ending for Theo, which is this guy. Oh my god, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 endings? There's 7 endings in this demo? That's a lot of endings. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 endings. Wow. Choices to gain. Okay. Oscar, accuracy. Wow, that's a lot of endings. I am surprised how many endings there are. Okay, I'll let chat decide. We'll do a poll. But I kinda wanna do this guy's route to see what is the story there. Which one? Should we reach for the box or respond in disbelief? I'll let you pick, chat. But according to the guide, we should look at the box in order to get this grumpy detective, this grumpy old man's route, this grumpy OG-chan. I'm not an OG-chan fetishist, but like, it's okay. I don't know, take the box. Okay. Again, there's no quick save. That's a little frustrating. I wish there was a quick save. Everybody wants me to reach for the box? Okay, we'll reach for the box. Did I save already? I don't remember. Let me save. Let me save again. Yes. Yeah, okay. Alright. Reach out for the box. I quickly stretch my hand out to the box, and yet he is just as fast in catching my wrist before I can open it. Ooh, we got physical contact. We got physical contact, skinship. I do like the BGM. It's kind of moody. I like the BGM. I withdraw my hand from his grip swiftly, like a startled bird soaring into the sky. That truly caught me off guard. I've forgotten what his hand feels like. Oh, so they were like what, lovers? Lovers? Ha, this is juicy. Ha. I kind of want to see all the endings, but that might be a really long stream. I'm a little under the weather today. Let's see. Let's see how far it goes, how long it takes. Oh, he smiled! Okay. I was only kidding. Although, you really haven't changed much, have you? Could this be... BL? Could this be BL? Like, what are we? Are we male? Are we female? I'm just gonna assume we're female because this is an OTOME game. I wish they would make it clear and tell us what gender, what sex are we. I'm just gonna assume female. You just went straight for it. I sure did! He sounds amused and slightly pleased, as if he just confirmed the accuracy of one of his deductions. Neither of you. I threw all of it away right after you vanished. Oh, that's kind of a dick move. It's kind of a jerk thing to do. He says with a subtle squint in his left eye, another lying tale. So he is lying. You know what he is? He's the tsundere. He's a tsundere Oji-chan. That's what he is. He's just a tsundere old man. I can't help but sigh at his antics. Of course you did. So what's really in the box? Want to take a guess? I do have an idea. Knowing him, he'd sooner face the whole Al Capone gang by himself and take their bullets before coming to visit me. That must be way more important than our poignant history. Case evidence? I've seen boxes like this one before, but never one quite so large. It's a really big case, isn't it? He nods. The biggest of my career. And to come to me of all people, you must be at your wit's end about this. He's so tsundere. Let me get a quick drink of water. He looks away as if to hide how galling the circumstances at hand are. Truth be told, I'd rather face the whole Al Capone gang and take their bullets rather than have to see you. Gee, that stings a little. What happened? Why did they break up? I need to know. So why would you... Hold on a minute. You think this has some sort of connection to fairies? He flicks his tongue in exasperation. That's kind of hot. That sprite. The sprite. Oh my, it seems I've hit a bullseye. We stopped talking about fairies at some point when we were still together. I knew it, they were dating. Those talks always led to a heated discussion and then into argument because nothing I could say could change his skepticism towards mystical beings. Why don't you, I don't know, show him the actual fairy you have? This is certainly the chance to tease him about it, though it might be unwise considering the emotional peril he must have gone through to get here. What should I do next? Ooh, okay, let me save. Wrong one. Fairies as in fairies, as in like real fairies, as in the mythical creature. There's only 4 slave slots. There needs to be more than 4 slave slots. I need like 400. Let me consult the guy. I think we have to ask him about his thoughts. Yeah, we have to ask him about his thoughts. Let's ask him about his thoughts. I know this must be hard for you, but I can't help if you don't say anything. He sighs. You're right. As difficult as it is to admit, the things you've told me before about fairies and whatnot might have helped to make sense of this case. But I have to say, for the sake of my sanity, I still don't believe they exist. Fair enough. Yeah, I can see how involving the supernatural into your grounded detective case would be a little off-putting. Personally, I don't really... Well, I like it when detective stories are 100% grounded and don't involve a supernatural. Personally. He appears pleasantly, oh, we got a smile. He appears pleasantly surprised by my answer, as though he was expecting a quarrel right around the corner. So these are exes, and we couldn't push them back together. Little did he know that it's moot to try to explain the otherworldly beings to him. Why don't you just show him the fairy? Can nobody else see it except for him? Or the protagonist? I don't know. So what makes this case so significant? Why do you think it relates to fairies? I have to cough. Hold on a minute. Are you even allowed to tell me? I hear the sound of a chuckle under the breath, like a bolt from the blue. Oh, so he's kind of cocky. So maybe he's not just grumpy. Maybe he's also cocky. He's like real, maybe narcissistic? Maybe? For a brief moment, his gaze on mine seems to revert to how it used to be, until the seriousness returns to his face. I am curious if, for any CG, I'm curious if we're gonna see the protagonist, what he or she or they look like. First things first, since I'm leading the investigation, I do have some discretion on what details to divulge into him. That is, if the confidant can bring value to the investigation. And I've known you for a fact that you can be discreet. Still, I must ask for your sworn secrecy on this matter. You got it! So, tell me about the case. Why does it seem to be of paramount importance? Hold on, I need to Google this. I need to make sure I'm correct here. So paramount is more important than anything else supreme. I thought paramount was tantamount. I need to figure out what it... So tantamount is virtually the same as, equivalent to, and paramount is more important than anything else. Oh, vocabulary. We are learning vocabulary today. It's a multiple murder case potentially perpetrated by a single culprit. Oh, we got a serial killer. We got a serial killer. That's fun. That's fun. Can't believe there's only 4 safe slots anyway. We got a serial killer! Fun! Fun, fun. I love serial killers in fiction. The victims are chiefly middle-aged women residing north of the city. They're from old money families, the type that make regular appearances at high society events. I see. No wonder you're all tensed up. I love a bit of vocab. Yeah, we're having a vocabulary lesson today. You're telling me. Chief took me off every other case and insisted I put all my time and effort into this. It's only a matter of time until the press catches wind and makes a circus of everything. And with some of the victims' peculiar manners of death... He pauses. This is where the fairies come in? He silently stares and then sighs. Swear I must be losing my mind. You've got this! Now he draws in a long, deep breath. 3 of the victims had a manner of death that the unit has never seen or heard of before. Whoa! So like petrification! The strangest case is one where the body seemingly hardened into bony tissue overnight. Oh, so it's like petrification, maybe. Or maybe like bone? Bony, like a bony plates, like a growth. I've heard of that. It's like super rare, but it does happen. But knowing this game and its clearly fantastical elements, I'm just going to say she was petrified. Her corpse almost looked like a carved wooden statue. Oh, I've heard of something like that before. Of course you have. I frown at him. Don't start now. He clears his throat abashedly. Without finding what caused these deaths, and more importantly who did this, the press could spin the stories out of control. I don't want to imagine the looks on the victims' families' faces if and when the papers are making a rout of these poor women's death. Besides, what sort of depraved sick bastard goes around murdering women in such a way? The city is already running on fumes, crimes becoming more rampant day by day. People shouldn't have to look over their shoulder every night. There's nowhere to live. Even as he lapses in silence, I say nothing. It's not just city. The rise in crime is not just the city. The rise in crime is breathing him dry too. Yet, I am unsure of what words could soothe those who are fighting it on the front line. I've never been where they are. The frown lines between his eyebrows grow deeper. Let me get a quick drink of water real quick. You know, considering the victim's background and having these murders being exaggerated in the papers would pressure the families to insist on closing the case as soon as possible. No matter the cost. No matter who's to blame. You're right. Innocent people are going to bear the brunt for this. This is a terrible situation. I feel my stomach churning. My arms crossed on instinct, trying to hold my own disquietude in place. You could just put disquiet. You don't really need the tude. You just put my own disquiet. Actually, I would rewrite it and I would say trying to hold my own disquiet inside. But anyway, is there anything you can do? I'm just one man. Try as I might, I can't keep those rotten police brass from lining their pockets. Ooh, we got corruption! We got corruption! Hello, Chief Rob! We are playing a murder mystery! Nothing but a pack of lowlives in high places. He exhales sharply, his voice laced with contempt. And then he falls into silence yet again. Similarly, words seem to have abandoned me, as I can't shake this feeling of helplessness crawling under my skin. After a minute, he meets my eyes once more. Well, you're a good listener. Better than most. He curls his lips into almost a smile. I don't mind it at all. Thanks. He clears his throat once more. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. This box includes case files, crime scene photos, a couple of blood samples which I was able to request to bring to you, and a couple other pieces of evidence. Other than the strange manners of death I've said, forensics were puzzled too by the blood samples. How so? One of them doesn't contain iron. That's interesting. So they had an iron deficiency. Go get some liver. Go eat some liver. Nothing surprises you, does it? Well, about this peculiarity, I'd bring up something from my fairy books, but you'd always find a way to deny it. You're right about that. I'm still investigating the possibility that unknown drugs or poison that somehow cause these oddities. Maybe like calcification. I don't know. But I'd be a fool to not go after my hunches and look into all possibilities. What about robbery? It's ruled out. No fingerprints, no evidence of breaking in, nothing had been stolen. And motives? Revenge? We're still interviewing the city's elites, looking for the possible motives. But it takes time, you know how it is. Yes, of course. They're very busy. Missing a period there. Speaking of city elites, I know people who can be very helpful in getting some inside information. His expression turned sour at full tilt. Who? That man? Jealous, jealous, super jealous. He's real jealous. I said people, but yes, that man would be particularly helpful in this matter. He scoffed brazenly and doesn't even try to hide it. Even at the first meeting with Mr. Henkel, there was some inexplicable tension between the two. Jealousy. It's jealousy. He's jealous. Theo said something about Mr. Henkel feeling off and always hated it whenever I had something to do with him. Though it might just be jealousy in disguise. Yeah, it's jealousy. It's jealousy. Maybe he's worried for my... Yeah, that's kind of obvious. I think so. You know I'm right. Even if he's barely in the newspapers, he's most likely at the pinnacle of high society. And I don't think he'll mind if I ask him a few things about this. Why, of course. He's always got a soft spot for you. Hell, he's probably been carrying a torch for you for a long time, judging by the way he follows you everywhere. Well, he happened to be interested in Faeology and has a lot of money to allow its development. Look at you, all ready to defend him. What, are the two of you an item now? Yeah, I knew it! He's just pretty blatantly jealous. He's got some jealousy issues. He's still clearly in love with you. Me, the protagonist. It's really obvious. Son. I must have steered this reunion right back to where we were months ago by bringing up Mr. Henkel. But it was necessary to mention him. I don't know anybody else who would have that much information about high society, so Mr. Henkel is a rich benefactor. Besides, there's never really been anything, even if we did go to fundraising events together from time to time. I would rephrase this. I would say there really never has been anything between us, even if we did go to fundraising events together from time to time. It was strictly business. Yet again, Theo seems to lose his reason whenever we talk about Mr. Henkel. So Theo seems to have some insecurities. He seems to be insecure. He seems to have a bit of a ego, a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't like this other guy around his girlfriend. I don't have the time or the energy to argue with him. What should I do? That's a lot of... Okay, I'm gonna save. I'm just gonna start saving over because we only have 4 save slots. They should have the option to delete saves, but anyway. Try to make him see reason, explain the truth about the relationship with Mr. Henkel. Let me look at the guide. We gotta make him see reason, which I am surprised. Okay. Does it matter? You came here despite everything. You knew you've got to do whatever it takes to solve this case. So do it. He's taken aback by what I said and plunges into his own thoughts. I swear, one of these days, you'll be the end of me. That's foreshadowing. Fine. Just make sure he can keep it under his hat. I sigh in relief. I will. While we're on the subject of useful allies, you mentioned before about blood that doesn't contain iron. I can take blood samples to the university's chemist. She's good at what she does. And she's from a rich family. She might know some of the victims, or their families at least. I'll trust your judgment. I take this as you agreeing to help with the case? That's right. There are lives at stake. Oh. He lets out a soft smile, as though in quiet agreement with what I said. Thank you. Well, if you think it'll be helpful, you can even ask the people you mentioned what they know using the evidence items. But the case files are for your eyes only. Understood. He's fallen silent somehow, leaving an uncomfortable hush in the air once more. Suddenly, a realization comes to mind. Does this mean you'd be willing to hear about fairies and Faeology? That depends. If this was indeed fairy doings, and if through your investigation you can provide solid theories on 3 things: the culprit, their methods of murder, and their motives. I will say it's a little hard to see the bold. I would make the bold a different color, like red or something. I would make the vocabulary terms a different color. Supported by evidence, of course. I'm sticking with the idea that there's a logical explanation, an earthly one, for now. Fair enough. I'll wager that we have approximately 24 hours to get some sort of answer that makes sense. I can feel the papers are getting close to the story. While you're investigating this lead, I'll look further into unusual drugs and poisons. How about it, Faeologist? Do you dare take on this challenge? Do I? Let's save. I mean, I think the answer is clearly yes, but let me check. Okay. Accept the challenge. Bring it on, detective! This brings a grin to his almost consistent brooding expression. Good. If you need anything from me, just ring me. Aye, sir. But you need to promise me that you'll not just hear me out, but also keep an open mind on fairy topics if I succeed in what you asked. I promise. But I can't promise not to scoff from time to time. That's good enough. I ought to get going. Maybe this will be an opportunity for you to increase Faeology's credibility in the eyes of the academics. Okay, so he's rooting for us. Maybe. Seems like some detective has been following the tiny part of Faeology in the newspaper. Says you. The one who had to stop the daily paper subscription just because some detective kept getting the headlines. How did you... Before I could finish, he had walked out the door and opened it. See you tomorrow around the same time. He's gone. Hey! I exclaimed with a hint of frustration. After some thought, I realized he must have noticed the missing newspaper on my desk, and my assistant's. Reading papers was part of my daily routine when we were together. I can only shake my head in disbelief. He hasn't changed much either. As I'm reminiscing about a few moments of our past relationship, Oz reveals himself again, now that we're all alone. Why do you not just show him the fairy? That was quite the reunion. It was quite the reunion indeed. He hasn't changed at all, has he? I suppose. Although, you don't have an obligation to help him. I know. But I've already agreed. Very well. Just don't overwork yourself. Yeah, thanks, Oz. I find myself slowly drifting into thoughts. A victim's manner of death, hardening into bony tissue, could be one of the fairy curses, ossification. If only I could ask Oz whether a fairy was behind this, and which one, but it's not that simple. Even if they are my longtime companion, fairies have their own rules about exchanging favors, and they are secretive about their land too. A favor like that doesn't come cheap. At least I'm stocked up on milk and honey for small requests. Why don't you just threaten to smush him? Like, come on. Speaking of requests, I should get started on my reply to my patron's letter. For some reason, he seems to be more insistent this time that I come with him to the gala. I retrieve a paper and pen, and I mumble to myself as I write. Let me check. I want to check the route. Okay. So we still have a lot to go. Dear Mr. Henkel, I hope your recent forays into high society have proven more fruitful than they have in... Should I be hyperbolic? Let me check the guide. Oh, there's no... Hold on. I guess it doesn't really matter? Okay, I guess, let's see. I'm looking at the different endings. I want the bad ending. Get accuracy points. Dancing, da-da-da, okay. So, where's the bad ending? There's a neutral ending, there's a bad ending under Oscar's route, there's a good ending under Theo's route, good ending under Oscar's route, good ending without following anyone's route, neutral ending, bad ending without following, and then the worst thing. Okay, so it looks like Theo does not have a bad ending, which is kind of disappointing, but okay. Let's, what do you think, chat? Let's be realistic. More fruitful than they have in the half-decade or so you've been alive. Half-decade, that's 50? So it's an old man. Believe it or not, I've been considering whether the merits of trying to impress the wealthiest folk of the city outweigh the obvious indignities. You first brought up the possibility of my accompanying you to the annual Leo's Gala a couple of months ago, and I'm still weighing my options. How do I want to play this? Be coy. Be coy! You shall know my answer definitively if you find me on your arm on the evening of the event. About Ruthie, I can't say I'm surprised to hear about her latest flirtations with disaster. Since we are both toddlers, she's frequently found herself in trouble. Her fiery personality certainly doesn't help her get out of quarrels. I would love to telephone her and ask her how she's doing, but we drifted apart a long time ago. Nevertheless, I'm glad to hear that Theo was there to smooth things over for her. I've now arrived at the topic of Theo or Detective Kraus as my patron affers. I suppose his query was meant to uncover whether I still care for Theo. How should I answer? Why not? We're gonna try and do bad. We're gonna try and, like, do as bad as possible on this playthrough. World news! Small Kumakko-chan in my arms. Whoa. As for Theo, I've long since stopped. Well, I'm gonna try like 2 times. I was like doing all the positive stuff for Theo, and I want to see what happens if I go after Oscar. As for Theo, I've long since stopped dwelling on him. Hold on, let me see what the guide says. For Oscar's bad ending. Okay. We'll try and get the bad ending. I thought of him and I as a relic for the past, and I feel no regret in having ended it when I did. Upon signing it off, I sealed the letter with wax, and then turned towards my trusted Faye. Oz, can I please trouble you with something? You want me to deliver this letter to your patron? Why? There's a perfectly functioning postal service. Indeed, the time is of the end. Why did you not deliver it sooner than... Okay, you should have written it sooner. As always, please take care not to catch anybody's attention. He'll see you by tomorrow morning, I'm sure. It would be my pleasure. Thank you, Oz. I'm off. I'll see you later today. I watch as Oz flits out my office window and vanishes. Once the Fae is gone, I call my assistant to my office. Yes, Professor? Hold on 1 second. I rifle through the contents of the box. Everything takes time. This is the 20s. Okay, we got blood. Carefully extract the blood samples that Theo mentioned. They appear to be stored in test tubes. Would you mind asking Dr. Rayford to analyze these blood samples? I'll do that, sure. As I hand the samples to her, I notice she looks like she wants to say something. Over the 2 years we've been working together, I've picked up on a few of her tells. I mean, if there's anybody I would date, it would probably be her. I think she's the best looking. And we all love a goth girl. What is it, Minnie? How'd it go with the detective? If you don't mind me asking. Oh no, not at all. He's the same as always. There's lingering beef, of course, but we've sort of managed to put it aside for something more important. He has brought me a rather significant case that he suspects might have some supernatural elements, as hard as it was for him to admit it. Oh, good for him. She doesn't look too happy. I can't help but grin at her remark. I'm glad it didn't end in a shouting match at least. Yes, me too. I'll deliver the blood samples now, Professor. Thank you, Minnie. Minnie hurries out. I'm alone in my office again. Remembering the conversation about the case again, I'm suddenly engulfed by unexplainable eerie feelings. I should start the investigation right away. Okay. Let me save. Drag and drop item from the inventory to the desk. Select an item in the records and then press the icon to open the inspector and read insights you've gathered. Okay. Hover the magnifying glass above an evidence to access the information and see the details in it. Use the backlight to see invisible things. Read the encyclopedia to gain additional information. Press the button to end the investigation. Okay. Desk. Record. Case file 1. This is cool. I like this. This is really neat. Wait, how do I open it again? Oh god, how do I open it again? I forgot. Haha. Is that not how I do it? Oh, come on. Why is this not user intuitive? Maybe I'm just dumb. So I got a case 2. Why can't I? I should be able to open it just by clicking it. Okay. Name Susan Moore, age 40 years old. Manner of death, refusing to drink anything but her own blood. So, just dehydration. Victim profile, an affluent. Was she like, maybe, did she have like rabies? Sometimes I hear people, they can't drink water when they have rabies. The victim's mother, they really gotta get a backlog. The victim's mother reported that the victim was suffering from a prolonged paranoid episode in the days leading to her death. Specifically, the victim was acting erratically and saying strange things. Forensic report, despite the manner of death, there are no signs of dehydration or hemochromatosis. No traces of drugs or poisons. Blood type unknown or other blood-related investigations are underway. Blood does not contain iron. So, like, it's an iron deficiency, I think. Tools, put that back. I'll figure this out. Okay, let's go get the other one. I like the spooky music. Oh, come on, where's the magnifying glass? There it is. Name, Audrey Woolridge. Age 51. Manner of death, hardening in the bony tissue. From afar, the corpse looks like a carved wooden statue. Time of death, 1:48 p.m. Victim profile, an affluent middle-aged woman in the city. Police report, the victim reported hearing strange noises. So it's schizophrenia? Maybe? Hallucinations? I don't know. The victim reported hearing strange noises and seeing strange phenomena in the days immediately. They don't really know much about mental illness back then. The interviewing officer suspected, due to the victim's strange behavior and involvement in occult manners. Forensic report, no traces of drugs or poison. It's just mental illness. you know, it's just, you know, she's not quite well. No traces of drugs or poison from what could be extracted from the body. Further autopsy is still in progress due to the victim's manner of death. Wooldridge. Now that's a familiar name. Oh, just the same thing? Okay. Just the same thing. Okay. Put this back. No? I guess it does. This one doesn't do anything. Okay. I wouldn't say it's scuffed. I just feel like it could maybe use a little bit more testing. A little bit more user testing. That's annoying. This should not go behind the case file. Okay, I guess it doesn't do anything. Let's get the third one out. Get the magnifying glass. Name Edna Niblet. Age 64 years old. Hello, Memento. Hi. We are solving murders today. Ooh. Auto cannibalism? Nasty, nasty. Manner of death, gnawing her own fingers down to the bone. That's not really a manner of death. That just, what, how is that a manner of death? Is that just choking? Choking? Is that the manner of death? Choking? That's not really a manner of death. I would say asphyxiation due to, you know, her old fingers in her throat. Time of death, 10:10 a.m. For breakfast, even. An affluent middle-aged woman in the city. A friend of the victim reported that she visited the victim's residence to drop off an invitation shortly prior to the victim's death. The friend also wanted to check in on the victim's well-being, as she had allegedly been acting strangely at a party the night before. According to the friend, she had witnessed an emotionally charged conversation between the victim and a young factory girl. We got a orphan going on. However, the friend didn't think much of the interaction at the time. Could be bleeding out? I mean, that would take a long time. Bleeding from your fingers? That seems like it would take a while. At the crime scene, the invitation card dropped off by the friend was seen close to the victim's corpse and was taken in as evidence. Forensic report, no traces of drug or poison. Blood type unknown. Other blood related. Why is the blood type unknown? They haven't analyzed it yet. Blood does not contain iron. Okay, so we got some hungry people going on. We got some hungry people that want, I guess, blood. Is this like vampiric? It's giving vampire vibes. Name, Mary Hatcher, 19. Okay. Death from shock due to arsenic. Okay, so we have something that makes sense, finally. Time of death, 6:15 p.m. A young factory girl. That's not really young. 19 is not really young for the 1920s. That's not really young. That's like a full-grown adult in that era. Despite not fitting the trend of the previous victim profile, she had been preliminarily included in the case because she was seen having a heated conversation with the third victim shortly before the victim's death. The victim's father described her as not acting like herself on the day before she passed. Gee, could it be the arsenic? Shortly before her death, the victim visited the police station. According to the interviewing officer, she seemed to be on the brink of confessing something when a look of terror suddenly crossed her face. She appeared to change her mind. She hurriedly left the station without saying anything further. Prior to death, the victim suffered from violent abdominal cramping followed by diarrhea and vomiting, consistent with the effects of arsenic poisoning. Yeah, that makes sense. Traces of said poison can be found in blood type A and the glass she was drinking from near the time of death. It seems like clearly murder. Seems like no, I think it's murder, not an accident. Blood contains iron and other elements commonly found in human blood. Why don't you say what those elements are? Alright, Alright. That it? No, we got some pictures. We got some pretty pictures. Cool. I don't really want to see. This is the first victim's crime scene. This is the first time I encounter something that would be ossification. I feel sick to my stomach. No one deserves to die like this. Something dodged with her fingers. Okay. Oh, is that the same Okay. Alright, let's get out the black light. Does this not do anything? Does this not do anything? Okay. That doesn't look good. This seems to be the second victim's crime scene. Her complexion is not quite the pale hue of death, far paler than should be possible, almost drained of color. She's iron deficient! Something's odd with her finger. Why don't you tell me what is up with the fingers? The black light doesn't seem to work. I guess it doesn't seem to work. Am I not doing it right? Do I gotta press something? I guess just not working. Okay. Alright. This is the lady who ate her fingers. Ugh, gross. This is the third victim's crime scene. Her fingers. I've seen corpses before, but never like this. There's another strange thing about her fingers. Why don't you tell me? Alright. Put that back, get this out. We got the poison. The girl is poisoned. Oh, nothing? There's no notes on this one? No notes? Wait, hold on a sec. What if I get all of them out? What happens if I get all of them out? No, nothing? Nothing? Aw, that's disappointing. I guess it doesn't do anything. Alright. That's a little annoying. I'm trying to look over the picture, and instead it's dragging the magnifying glass. I did the same thing. Okay. Alright, let's put these pictures back, I guess. Okay, so we got a glossary here. Curious if this does anything. I guess not. Okay, Fae and insects. Some Faeologists have applied Darwin's theory of natural selection to Fae kind by putting them in the same genealogical line as insects, especially the Lepidoptera group, which includes moths and butterflies. This is supported by their similarities to each other. Beneath the special black light, some species of butterflies can glow by having a chemical known as phosphorus, which fairies also have. This font is kind of hard to read. They should make it a little bigger. The similarities of fabric kind I can't read it. Fairy kind insects, as well as birds and others in the animal kingdom, manifest in terms of the variance of fairy magical abilities. One magical skill possessed by some Fae is transfiguration, which is similar to metamorphosis. Wielders of transfigurative spells can make themselves or fellow Fae take on another form, including appearing human, so they can't shapeshift. Many high Faes have heightened powers of suggestion through the emission of toxins capable of causing hypnosis or illusions. Although quite rare, some high Faes can transform living beings into solid objects such as stone or bone. Another example of Fae magic is invisibility, which is similar to camouflage. There may be other types of magical powers that have not yet been documented. Fae factions and conflict. There are two main factions of high Fae, the Scribes and the Warriors. The Scribes are known for their defensive magic and their intelligence. Can I save here? I guess I can't save here. The Scribes are known for their defensive magic and their intelligence. The Warriors are known for their power and their offensive magic. Meanwhile, the low Fae faction, there's a whole hierarchy, I guess, is comprised of Faes with limited parasitic magic. They are widely maligned species that like to consume human blood, hormones, and even souls. How do you consume hormones? The history of Fae class conflict is not very well documented. It appears that there are quarrels between these factions as there is a certain level of disdain for the other faction. However, disputes often occur between fairies of the same faction. Nevertheless, both factions of high Fae deem parasites despicable low Fae due to the limited and parasitic nature of their magic. This is kind of oddly worded. I would rephrase that. I would say, nonetheless, both factions of high Fae deem low Fae to be despicable parasites, is how I would put it. Ohayou gozaimasu! Hachinichi! Kyou wa, suspense mystery! Yaru yo! Kore wa, otome ge! Suspense otome ge. All fairies seem to be weak against iron, although a small amount of iron, such as meat or blood, does not seem to ward off fairies. Historically, cold iron was often forged as weapons and used to repel fairy magic. The intricate use of iron combined with physics and chemistry is applied by Faeologists to develop a special black light to distinguish and detect the magical essence of the three main types of fairy. Okay. Still can't read this. Beneath the black light, scribe magic appears blue, warrior magic red, and parasitic magic purple or violet. This is too complicated. Keep it simple! Sustained blacklight illumination on an object imbued with fairy magic may reveal intricate details of certain complex spells. Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it with the blacklight. It looks the same to me. Oh my god. Scribe fairies! The scribes are high faes. This is just a lot to take at once. There's a lot of info dumping. I mean, I appreciate the lore. I do. I like it, but it's a lot at once. The scribes are high faes who are capable of expressing benevolence and kindness that is similar to humans' kindness, and they tend to be friendlier to humans. However, this kindness is only shown in the form of favor exchanges, and they do not go out of their way to help others like humans would. The scribe magic that assists humans is contingent upon the favor that humans deliver to them. For example, some scribe fae may use their magic to give blessings to humans who have done very special favors or boons for them via inheritable invisible markings such as sigils or birthmarks. These blessings can last through generations. The rumored fae-touched bloodlines have become wealthy and powerful through the decades that they have been favored. However, they may also use their magic as a curse, sometimes even deadly if they feel offended or insulted. Some scribe fairies are also prone to pranks and mischief when they are bored. Warrior fairies. The high faes of the warrior faction frequently reside in groups and are territorial. They tend to be protective of their troops and tend to be unfriendly towards outsiders, especially if they come from the scribe faction or are human. They will smite anyone who interferes with their group. Humans entering their territory, even if accidentally, may face elimination through the warrior's offensive magic. My god, there's so much. Although fairy warriors typically remain within their own kind and seldom venture beyond the boundaries of the fairy realm, they are known for their aggressive temperament and volatile disposition. Caution is strongly advised when encountering and interacting with these beings. I think this is the last of it. Parasitic fairies. Parasitic fairies with limited magic consistently need to feed off of other sources of energy, mostly drained from humans, such as blood, hormones, emotions, and life force. However, the mechanisms and rate at which these drainage processes occur greatly vary. Notable incident, changeling. There are unconfirmed rumors that some high faes like to capture humans and bring them into the fairy land for purposes such as forced reproduction. We got forced breeding going on, chat. That's hot. Servitude, ritualized combat for their own immune like gladiators, and so on. The fairies leave changelings behind to mask their absence. A changeling is composed of several fae, typically of the parasitic type, magically transformed to look almost exactly like an abducted human. Okay. Due to the complexity of the Fae magic required to create a changeling, the enchantment almost always goes awry. Anomalies commonly among changeling include an extra finger or an extra toe. God forbid somebody just has an extra finger or an extra toe via birth. Nearby heat conductors. It's a serious investigation. I am being very serious, Chad. Nearby heat conductors, such as small metallic objects, has also been known to repel or warp the magic-creating changeling. Okay, we're done. Cool, we finished the book. Cool. So let's put this back. How do I put this back? There you go. Oh my god, there's still more. Okay. There's still more to look at. This is a lot. So this middle-aged woman in the collar blouse is the victim. I guess this elderly man in the suit is her father? The elderly woman wearing the cardigan is her mother, I suppose. This bespectacled man is perhaps her brother? So this middle-aged woman with the pearls is the victim. I guess this elderly man with facial hair is her father. The elderly woman with the fur collar is her mother, I suppose. The other man in the darker suit is maybe her brother. Never seen a coin like this. It looks rare. I've seen this makeup powder somewhere recently. It's from Nectar Bell. This must have belonged to one of them, but which? Chat, if there's not an ending where you're forced to copulate with the fairy, I'm gonna be really mad. I wonder if the owner likes the box design and carrying it around in her pocket since it's already used up. Perhaps the chemist has some interesting insight since her family owns the brand. One more thing. A wedding ring. It seems to be made out of gold. I'll just pocket that. My patron invited me to this event. I'm still uncertain if I want to attend. Okay, that's it. Alright, we're done. We're done. I realize the sun has set, since I've been absorbed in the investigation. Come in. My assistant enters the office. Let me save. Dr. Rayford has arrived to drop off the blood samples, and she wants to talk to you. Already? Yes, she's just out the door. I must say I'm pleasantly surprised at her work speed. Alright, send her in. Minnie nods. She returns to the reception area. So... I'm gonna repeat myself, chat, because some of you didn't arrive quite so early, but I'll tell you! There are 2 love interests for this game, at least the demo. You can date Oscar, your patron, the older man, or you can date Theo, the detective. Or, in the full version, you'll be able to date Minerva, your assistant, or this lady, Dr. Florence. She's a little old for my taste. Good evening, Professor. Good evening, Doctor. Dr. Rayford hands over the blood samples. Why is there no loli? She also gives me her lab report. Here you go. Thank you. So what have you found? The most peculiar thing is that there is no iron in one of the blood samples. Say, is this fairy related? That's quite a jump to go from iron deficiency to fairies. That's quite a jump. Her question prompts me to ask myself, to what extent of the case can I divulge to her? Theo did say that I may ask the patron or her for information using some of the evidence. Although she has knowledge of fairy and the curses, can she handle seeing crime scene photographs? You can't date the fairies! Sorry, dropping this game. I don't think you can date a fairy. As I return from my thoughts, I notice her voice is taken on a higher pitch. This is so exciting! Are you working with the police? Does this mean we'll get better credibility in the eyes of the public? Oh my, we're going to be in the newspapers, aren't we? And not in the usual corner spots, too. Oh, I can hardly contain myself. It appears she took my silence as a yes. It's good that she's excited about the possibility of advancement for Faeology, but her cheerful disposition can sometimes be rather overstimulating. She's a Yankee girl. As if on cue, a knock on the door arrived to spare me. Let me get a quick drink of water. Actually, chat, I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. am back, chat, but I have snacks because I am hungry. So let me take a minute to eat, and then we'll continue. Let me get the volume back on, so that you at least get some background music. This guy is Oscar? I mean, I don't want to judge people, but Chad, he's kind of ugly. He's kind of ugly, Chad. I'm sorry. He's definitely not my kind of guy. What kind of snacks? I got mochi, brown sugar mochi, and a granola bar. I'll have a proper meal later, but this is just what I have right now. I hate eating at my desk, so I only grab stuff I can eat quickly. I'm gonna eat this granola bar. I'm sorry. You have to deal with my gross mouth noises. I'm sorry, and you have to see my model go. So I'm sorry in advance. Let me just eat something so that I don't pass out. I'm sorry, Dad. I don't want to date Oscar. He's too old. And I hate facial hair. I hate facial hair. And I don't like old men. Maybe like some Oji-san, some people with like an Oji-san complex would be into it, but I'm not. So, I'm sorry for the mouth noises. I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick. I'm hungry. It's better than your own fingers, right? A granola bar is better than eating your own fingers. It's over! No, it's not. We're still playing. Mr. Henkel, can you remember? And what point will you be bringing for me? Is it you? Are you the special delivery? Mr. Henkel? I guess you could call it finger food, huh? Huh? Finger food? Alright. I'm not even gonna try and do a voice for this guy. If you wish to call me special, then I certainly won't stop you. Just imagine Oscar having this ooh kawaii anime girl voice. I did bring a box of Huckleberry muffins. Oh, that's nice. I like food. I will accept all bribes. Let me have one of these mochi. Oh, wait, maybe I should have done it close to the microphone. Oh, well. These are such good mochi. They're so good. It's like they're brown sugar flavor. They got cream inside. Although, I'm gonna make a bad joke. Although by the end of this demo, that's not gonna be the only thing with cream inside. Alright, I'll stop. Minerva was instantly enamored by their buttery scent. She's currently feasting on them. We can only hope she'll leave a muffin, a piece for the rest of us. Hell no, those are my muffins. Oh, hello there, Florence. I didn't expect to see you in the office. Hello, Mr. Uncle. Nice seeing you here. But, we do have it. I'm making this office. There's so stop on campus. That's just because this is where all my money went. Okay, I can talk now. A well-spent investment nonetheless. What? Is it really a well-spent investment? He makes a retort at Dr. Rayford, but throws a subtle smile in my direction. How cheeky. Are you hitting on Florence right in front of me? So, Florence, what's been occupying your time as of late? Hi, Elo. This isn't really ASMR, just me eating a snack. In fact, let me finish. Hold on. I don't know. Is this what you guys like to hear? This is good boba. The usual matters, I suppose. Do I have enough to share with the class? No, I got 3 pieces of mochi and that was it. Let me throw it away. I'll be right back. I need to throw the wrapper away. I didn't pee. I literally just went to throw away the wrappers. However, he confessed he didn't have the faintest idea. You must tell me more about your chemical research one of these days. The colorful pursuits of you young academics thrill me to no end. You know I can't share all that much, Mr. Henkel. Unless, of course, you find yourself in the position to become the chemistry department benefactor, then all their secrets are yours. Bribery. She wants to be bribed. Hello. Thank you, Cersei, for welcoming me back again. I feel better after a snack. I'm afraid I'm all tapped out. Financially speaking, this man is fertile. This man is, no, that's the right word I wanted to use. This man is fertile. Breed. What, actually, chat, would you breed the old man? Would you breed the old man, chat? Virile? Virile is the proper word? The man is virile? No. The man is fertile. Fertile, not virile. The game looks British. I actually don't know. The company, I don't know if they're British or American. I think it's an American company. How is your tummy? I'm still under the weather. I'm still having cramps and all that yucky stuff. But I'll be okay in a couple days. I'm okay. That man looks like a raisin. Yeah, he's saying he's all out of, stuff. I'm not buying that, not for a second. He's telling fibs, isn't he, Professor? I like people. If you're into an old man, you would be into this. I am not. I am into Shota. Well, for now, I don't want to get in the middle of the money talk of the rich. I have a shy at that information, Doctor. I would make proposing for research much easier with a bit of delicate leverage naturally. Mr. Henkel laughs in amusement. I feel I should ask the reason he's here before this conversation takes an odd turn. On another note, Mr. Henkel, did you get my letter? Is that the real... If you guys, are on the same campus, then why don't you just give him the letter in person? Whatever. Upon recalling that I asked Oz to insert the letter into his mailbox only this afternoon, I'm about to retract these questions. Unexpectedly, though, he bows his head in assent. Your words have always had this immersive impact on me. Perhaps that is why you are such an effective educator. Whenever I encounter your written language, I long to hear it spoken post-haste. Are you putting a spell on your letters by any chance? This guy is so hitting on us. He's flirting with us. I think you're the one with all the spells, Mr. Henkel. Your muffins, for one, have always been successful in getting Minnie's guards down. Oh dear, you two are making me blush. I suppose it's time I take my leave and let you both be. I'm due somewhere shortly anyhow. What do you think, chat? You wanna call it a day here? Or you wanna continue a little bit? What do you think, chat? What do you think? Let me get a drink of water. Oh, where is it? Flirt with him? I bet he has 1 year left. Get that free pension, get that inheritance money. Oh no, that might not be necessary. I can't stay long either. How close are we to the end? I have no idea how close we are to the end. I have no idea. I think we are not even, I honestly have no idea. I think we're pretty darn... I think we're at the beginning still, because there's 7 endings! I think we're still at the beginning, I think. Mr. Henkel lapses into silence as he continues staring into my eyes. It's difficult to maintain eye contact with him, but even harder to look away. I wonder what I should do. I ought to discuss the case, but both of them seem to be in a hurry. Should I tell Mr. Henkel to return another day, since I need to have an important conversation with Dr. Rayford right away? Or should I dismiss the chemist and meet with my patron now? Soliciting Dr. Rayford's opinion may be a good idea. She could share more insight on the chemistry side of the case. Her parents own a successful company that produces the makeup powder and evidence. She would also know the social happenings among the wealthy elites. On the other hand, it's been 2 hours! Mr. Henkel is also a viable candidate for an interview. His connections within high society know no bounds. Everybody seems to know him one way or another. He might know things Dr. Rayford doesn't. He's also more familiar with fairy topics. Who should I interview? Let's check the guide. Let me look at the guide. Okay, let's see. There's a bad ending. Geez, we still have a lot to go, it looks like. Yeah, stop it. Okay, let me see. Keep streaming, no sleep, no eating, no idle again. No! I am a patient, I need to rest. Okay. Well, I guess I'll pick the OG-san, not that I like him. Mr. Henkel, would you mind staying for a while? I'd like to discuss something. Dr. Rayford, thanks again for analyzing these samples. Your assistance has been invaluable. Please don't let me keep you any longer today. How long is this scene? I'm curious. After bidding Mr. Henkel a swift farewell, Dr. Rayford is out the door in no time. What do you want to talk about, my dear Faeologist? I gestured toward the large box on my desk. It's a box of evidence from multiple murder cases. Is it from Detective Crow? Is so jealous, this man. So jealous, this man. Let's make him jealous. Why? Wait, hold on. Let me check the guide. Let's see. Where's the bad ending? The bad end for Oscar's route. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Let's make him jealous. Better than I could have hoped! I expected more bitterness and distaste. Let's make this man pissed off. Like we had in the last couple months of our relationship. He was more composed than I thought. Perhaps it was because of this particular case weighing on his mind. Cool suit, I'm jealous. Is there a way to get rid of the text box? It doesn't look like it. Alright, tell me about this guy. He's so clearly jealous. How can I help? After binding my patron to secrecy, I rattled off the basic facts of the homicides. I believe I might have heard a bit about this case. Not the gory details, mind you. Just a little whisper here and there. I was hoping you would be familiar with some of the parties involved. I wanted to show you something. Please share any knowledge you might have about the evidence. Okay, what are we showing? What? The fairy book? Let's show him this. I ain't familiar with this girl. Never seen her before. Whoever this girl is, I express my sincerest condolences. No, the middle mouse button isn't working. How terrible. I knew Madame Woolrich. As you undoubtedly know, her family hosts the biggest charity event every year. They tell me the fundraiser will be moving forward despite the tragedy in the family. According to my sources, she loved the event dearly and definitely would have wanted it to proceed. Do you ever know her to dabble in the occult? Knowing this woman as I did, I doubt it. It would help, however. I've heard several elites are members of the clandestine occult group. I've only heard the name the Golden Dawn. Hardly anyone knows about its existence. But you have your way of knowing, don't you? I say teasingly, and he responds with a slight smirk. I do indeed. Oh, how awful. I was familiar with Madame Moore. Through the grapevine, I heard the devastating news of her death. Why do you all think he's hot? I often interacted with this exceptional woman and her sprightly spouse at high society events. They are both gracious individuals. Do you know this woman? I did. She was a fine, upstanding... This guy knows all of the victims. Certainly didn't deserve such a gruesome ending. She was known among her peers for her rare coin collection. You could see her collection displayed in every inch of her house. It's the first time Mr. Henkel and I are talking about something this gruesome, even though I've known him a long time. Yet, as he spoke his condolences while seeing the corpse's photographs, his face remained blank, as if the words never reached his... Is this guy... Maybe this guy is the killer. Maybe. You're the one saying that he is like all fashionable and stuff, okay? His eyes didn't even flinch. How odd. Yeah, I don't trust this guy. I wonder if this lack of empathy is just a trait of being in the upper class. This is a photograph of Mrs. Woolridge's family. All the faces here are familiar. This guy knows everybody. This guy is suspicious. The Woolridges are perhaps one of the most prominent and powerful families in the city. The victim's father wasn't in the running to be the richest in the world until he decided to devote much of his wealth to lavish charitable endeavors. Good for him. The elderly woman is the victim's stepmother, a beautiful socialite for whom the victim's father divorced her biological mother. The younger man is the victim's stepbrother. This is a photograph of Mrs. Moore and her family. This guy knows everybody. I believe this elderly couple is her adoptive parents. Are her adoptive parents. I never really talked to them, but I hear they're kind, wonderful people. Biologically, Madame Moore was born as a so-called miracle baby to wealthy parents of advanced age. When they passed away, she had no other family members by blood. She was thus adopted by a middle-class couple who were trusted employees of her biological parents, or so I've heard. Upon coming of age, she received a sizable inheritance and wedded a recently rich entrepreneur of humble origins. This is her widower in the photograph. He's said to be extremely close to his parents-in-law. This is the rare coin. Nectar Bell. That's the one. That's all I know about it. So this man knows nothing about makeup. Here's a wedding ring. My, this is very bold of you. Are you sure you want to be bound to me forever? So you say, knowing that the question... No. So you say, asking that question, knowing full well this ring isn't mine. He laughs wholeheartedly. So whose is it? Mrs. Moore. All I can tell you is that she and her husband were always attached at the hip. 2 peas in a pod. Why are you showing me this invitation? Is this your way of confirming you'll be my date? Let me look at the guide. Get back. Hold on, let me see. Okay, we gotta lock down the date according to this guide. Let's do it. Perfect, I'll pick you up here tomorrow. I keep going to the gear icon because I think that's the setting. But this is like the stop button and this is for all the settings. It's a little confusing. This should be the setting button. This kind. Like the menu. This should be the menu button. Okay. I'm sure Florence knows more than I do when it comes to analyzing biological samples. The free pension ending. So he doesn't know anything about the blood. Sugar daddy ending. I can see why the detective came to you with this case. That's it. Okay, that's it. That's it, alright. No further questions. Yes, Mr. Henkel. Earlier you mentioned you had a prior arrangement. So I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your time, you've been incredibly helpful. I'm delighted I could be of assistance. Reach out to me if you need anything else. See you soon, yes? Give him a brief nod. Professor, I'm heading home soon. Is there anything else I can do to help? No, I'll be perfectly fine. I think I'll stay and work a bit longer. See you tomorrow, Professor. Have a safe trip home. Upon wishing me the same, Minnie leaves. Alright, so we have... There's no way to save, that's annoying. We already did all this. Minerva, you can date her in the full version, but not the demo. Okay, there's something invisible about the ring. But I can't access the ring! Oh, there it is. What is it? Why can't I see it? There's something about it, but I don't know what. Buy it now, Kumakko. I'm no longer asking. It's not released yet. This is just the demo. In fact, I don't know when it comes out. This is just the demo version. I see there's something, but it's not activating. Okay, so there's stuff in the blood. Is this a bug or why is it invisible? Well, it won't tell me. It won't tell me what is up with each of them, so okay. Okay, I think maybe I should call it a day, man. It's been an entire in-game day. But I want to see if I can get an ending. But also, I don't know how much longer this will be. Go to the dev house and ask them nicely to release the game or else. I don't think they would. They still got work to do, I think. Hold on a second. Let me look at the guide real quick. So there's a deduction phase by answering. So there are questions, but I'm not getting any questions yet. It says there are questions, but I haven't gotten any for the... Hold on. Let me look. Hold on. Choices for full accuracy points. More investigation items will result in additional thoughts. Okay. Well, I might have messed it up. Oh well. Just bring a work in progress and hit them like this. Release faster. I want to see what the bad end is. When do I get the bad end? You need to get yourself together. You must refrain steadfast and strong when facing the detective. I swear to God, if I don't get an ending within 10 minutes, I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna do it another time. You know I can't let myself unravel at this point. It's just that he never solicited my opinion in quite this manner. A professional insight, no less. All the more reason to be as calm as you can be. Chat, I hate to disappoint you, you cannot date the fairy. But no matter what happened, at least you know you tried. At the end of the day, he is the one who needs to solve the case. I'm not a detective, I'm simply a professor sharing my perspective. Thank you, Oz, for talking me off the ledge. That's my cue to sail past your window ledge. Best of luck. See you tonight, Oz. Oz has flown out. I direct my attention towards the door. Come in. Professor, you have a visitor. The detective? Alright, send him in. Theo paces around a little bit after strolling in, and he appears quite distracted. Finally stops and opens his mouth. So what have you learned? Take a deep breath. Here it goes. I have to present my findings to perhaps the most sought-after detective in the police force. Theo investigates cases right when the crime scenes unfold. He's agonizingly familiar with the grit and the grime of the city's darkest recesses. Meanwhile, as a professor, my expertise primarily involves around the nebulous and theoretical. I must do my best to remain calm and collected, just as Oz suggested. We don't like insects like some bears around here. Fight me! I've read the case files. Victim's odd behavior shortly before death could be due to hypnotic spells from fairies. The fourth victim went to the police station, but before she said anything, it seems she saw something that scared her away. What if she saw something not human? In the manner of death? It interrupts me before I can finish. I have no time for assumptions. The papers telephoned our department this morning, and they said they found out about some of these deaths, so that's why he looks agitated. The chief is preparing a statement for tomorrow regarding this, so I'll just cut to the chase. Is there fairy involvement? Let me look at the guide. I think if I say no, I get like the worst. I get like the worst ending. So maybe no, I'll hold on, let me save. That'd be funny if I was like, nope, bye! Yes. So far, we've identified 3 classes of fairies: warrior, scribe, and parasitic. Warriors have strong offensive magic, scribe tends to be defensive, and parasitic and magic and parasitic. We Faeologists have developed a tool called Blacklight to detect traces of faint magic, and it can even be detected through photographs if the magic is especially strong. Warrior magic glows red, scribe is blue, and parasitic is purple. Found that seemingly fairies of one specific class are behind this. Let me look at the guide. Okay. Parasitic. What is the evidence? Good question. I didn't find any, really. Okay. Let's say the makeup. Upon trying to remember how I come to this conclusion, I realized there are no magic traces in this compact case. Hold on a moment, it seems I was mistaken. Okay, let me see what else does the guy say. Photographs. Photographs! I screwed it up. Can you see the glowing sigil on some of the victims' left hands? That parasitic magic is supposed to be purple. The sigils are blue, and they are protective boons from the scribe. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I make you look like an idiot. Profoundly disappointed. No, we failed. Oh well. No, I do take it seriously. I just screwed up all the choices on purpose. Doesn't matter, we're running out of time. Even the most atypical drugs don't cause this kind of bizarre hallucination, and no poison could turn the whole body into hardened bones. Honestly, I can't believe this. You've dedicated many years to the study of forensic Faeology. This is all you have to show for it. I know you're clever, capable, competent, but you ought to consider changing your field. You're not cut out for forensics. I love it. Fight, 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 fight. You just crossed a goddamn line. That's because I'm screwing up all the choices on purpose. I'm just laying down the facts. He says it so nonchalantly, as if he doesn't see the effect of his opinion on me. I can't do this anymore. My anger is beyond containment. I never want to see you again. Get out! Fine by me. I don't plan on ever coming back to this office anyhow. Upon picking up the box of evidence, Theo turns to leave. Don't let the door hit you on the way out! He slams it. I find myself striding restlessly in my room, seething with frustration. Perhaps it's for the best. There's a reason I walked away, and it's all coming back to me. As I was steadying my breath to calm down, I realized something. I had to explain Dr. Redford's finding on the blood sample, or how it could be fairy blood, and the significance of the scribe sigils on prominent families. Even more, Mr. Henkel gave me top-secret information on clandestine occult group on the upper class. I didn't have the chance to tell him all that. Well, so be it. I'm not going to write him or telephone him. Perhaps I'll just write an anonymous letter to the homicide department. But first, I ought to finish grading the assignment that I neglected. I'm more angry at Theo than I am at myself. How did I fail at this? Why wasn't I thorough enough? It's because I screwed it up. Still, that doesn't give him the right to talk to me like that. I bury my face in my hands as I realize I've been merely spinning in circles. It's about time. I look up at her in shock. When did she get in? I knocked and then waited for a minute. It occurred to me that perhaps he didn't hear me. Oh, sorry. Where's my water? Hold on. My mind is more than a little preoccupied. The detective had an intensely brooding expression when he left. I figured that the meeting didn't go well. You have a visitor waiting at the reception. Mr. Henkel, isn't it? I meant to meet him today. I forgot. I can tell him to come back another day. No. I do want to see him. He might be the only person on earth who can make me feel better right now. Is there something else after this? Nope. Okay. No more choices after this. My patron is beaming when he strides in, but the look on my face is all it takes for the smile to slip away. I'm gonna take it that the protagonist is female, because all these guys are courting her in the 20s. You look like someone died! It's Detective Krause, isn't it? I can sulk another time. We should get going, shouldn't we? I did agree to accompany you to the Leos Gala. That can wait, my dear. Everything can wait. My priority now, and always will be, ensuring that you're okay. With just a tiny bit of coaxing from my patron, I divulge all that just transpired. I reveal what Theo said to me and how small it made me feel. But... I'm devastated to hear about it all. If I could curse the detective to the depths of hell for insulting you as he did, I would have done so already. Perhaps when we next cross paths, I can hook his ankle with my cane. And then we can watch him together as he topples down 4 flights of stairs. Accidentally, of course. I can't help but let out a chuckle. I know he's only joking, and yet has triumphantly alleviated my frustration. In the end, Theo would still find out that you did that, Mr. Henkel. I don't want want you to go to jail. Truth be told, he wasn't wrong about everything. Why do I keep saving? Because these are old files that I'm saving over. I haven't been thorough enough. I'm finding it hard not to be disappointed in myself. My patron smiles at me. Don't be, dearest. Sometimes things don't work out as intended. Not every mystery is destined to be solved. Is that it? Is that the end? That's it! Okay, we got one ending. That's an ending, okay. Hold on. I want to see what happened if you did the bad end. If you do, like, the worst ending. Hold on. No, it's not what I read. I'm gonna skip a little bit. No! Well, I've wasted my time coming here. It appears I've blown the little chance Faeology has of becoming acknowledged in the academic field. Welp! Okay. We screw up one thing, and that means, like, the whole department gets shut down, I guess. Alright. Well, that's it for today. Let's get things back to normal. Alright, chat. I hope you had fun. We got 2 endings. I'm disappointed we didn't get to go to the party. But I guess it's to be expected. Because it's just a demo after all. I liked it. I think it's got a cool story, it's got its own brand, it's got like its own style clearly, but my god, do I find the love interest, all of them, not very good looking. I do not find them good looking at all. I think maybe Minerva is the best looking, but that's not really saying much. You're making bread? Good for you. What kind of bread? French? Sourdough? Huh? You have to tell me. Alright, chat, that's it for today. I will see you next week. We're gonna be playing Pre-Odyssey, period, and Koichoko for next week. I want to remind you all that commissions are open and 50% off for a couple more days. And then, for every donation, everybody gets a little fic. So don't forget, if you're interested. Happy Pride Month, everybody! Happy Otome Week! I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye!